Yo guys, what's up? We're back, and this time we're doing something just a little bit different. The winner of the mystery mini contest last month did take the mystery box, and inside the mystery box was the Genius of the Cult's Abominant. Des, thank you very much for that, host. Now I've wanted to paint this guy since GSC got released, which was in 7th? Maybe? Too many sprues. Cheers for that, host, bro. So yeah, he's been about for a while. Let's see if there's a copyright thing somewhere on here. That says 2019. Is it really that young? Really? That's not that far away, you know. But anyway, Spook Skeletons! Thank you very much for that sub, bro. 3 months! Every time I see your name, I want to say Skellingtons, like in Hot Fuzz. It was 7th. I thought it was 7th. Oh, that's why. That's why. This is going to be the new style sleeve for it. Cool. So it was 7th edition. Oh, he came out with the MMX James, the man behind the Genius of the Cult. The head cultist himself, the patriarch, if you will. He'll know. He'll know. Second weekend of February 2019. There you are. There you are. The man knows his stuff. In the chat, aside from MMX James, we've got Abandon's Lost Arms, Crooked Grin, Tyran 1986, Spook Skeleton, Poser Cracker, the Johnsonator, who's going to try and stay awake. Maybe. Ex-Adventurer, Viking, Drunk Mystic, AJC72 main unit, and this is Gets DV. Hope you guys are all doing well. So, this guy comes on a 40mm base. We've thrown that away. No one cares about that. We're taking I believe this is a 100mm base, because it's for Helverin. And that's what we're going to start off with. So this is where everything is going to go on. This is going to be a Underhive style setting for this guy. And so we've got a lot of work to do. We're not going to worry too much about this frame for now. What we might do at some point in the stream is put together this little lad, the little familiar that comes with him, and have him lurking on some other part of the diorama base. But otherwise, this is kind of immutable. This is going to stay as it is, and that's it. But a little guy, we might find a place for him. We've got a load of this stuff. This is the GW Sector Mechanicus terrain. This particular bit is the shitty terrain piece they gave Imperial Knights. Sacristian Forge Shrine or something like that. And so we've got a lot of these bits. Just some random stuff. I'm thinking currently that we want him on a little platform. These are ever so slightly larger than the base. That I'm not too fussed about. That's a pretty okay size for a diorama. It's a lot of work just getting some of your basing stuff down. They're not double-sided, so we know exactly which way it's got to go. But I'm thinking we give him some height. Little guy's hand is sculpted on the Abominant's thigh. Might be tricky to separate them. Ah, fuck, really? Oh, yeah. Damn, you're right. Okay. Okay. This could be interesting, you're right. We will figure it out if we can, but it's this, isn't it? That might not happen. That might not happen. Boy. Thanks again for all the help. Discord helped so much. Good, mate. I'm really glad. Oh, Ken, how you doing? Bring out a knife. We've got a knife. We've also got some version of a head cold, as you might see from the fact that these are mostly closed. So the stream might be cut a little short tonight, depends on how we can get on through. But we're going to probably use this as a base. We've got some of these like wall sections. The only downside to using that as a base is it covers over most of this. It's very, very thick. Oh, dude, it's almost certainly not the Rona. Right? It might be, but I severely doubt it. And we want to put more height on. So what I'm thinking currently, this is all subject to change once we get some of this on here, is we take a couple of these and we cut them down to either that height or that height, probably this height, just to get something underneath a section of flooring. Put the flooring down and then get one of these stood up next to it. I wanted to use something like this, but unless we put that like right on top of the base, and you can see it does overhang quite a lot both sides. Unless we do that, and then have him stood on something on this, and he's probably a little too big for that, or it would look really precarious, especially with the little guy on there as well. So, you know, that's probably not going to happen. I thought about trying to put one part of this on like a backdrop, and that might still happen. But if we did that, I'd end up having to use some plastic card to block this off. Frogley Studio, how you doing, brother? Welcome to the stream. Oh, sorry, you just come in and I've got to blow my nose. This is really unprofessional. Oh. Sorry, we're just saying to the chat that we've got a little bit of man flu / allergy, whatever it might be, some sort of head cold thing. We're getting through it. We'll be okay. Wraith, how you doing? Science Pie, Donna-chan, Whiskey Good for Gold. Haven't had a cold in years. I mean, haven't had a drink yet this week. There's one right there. Might help. With a round of thing, you could always make it like it's buried in the ground. We could definitely do that. Norsus, Seth Bills, cheers for the follow. Frog Lane, how was your stream? What were you up to? What did you do? So yeah, for now we're just going to cut some bits out of here and see what we got. So if we do end up trimming these down by quite a way, probably this one and this one are the easiest to cut. Spindle Shanks 88, cheers for the follow. It's a fun bit of scenery you got there. It could be, it will be, but there's potential for it. We're going to do a diorama base for the Genius Occult's Abominant. This was the giveaway mini that was in the mystery box from last month. This was won by AJ Sandler. And we're going to use this as our competition entry for the Amsterdam Battle Brothers Busy Brush Brawl Battle. That's not difficult to say at all, ever. So we're going a bit wild with it. Hence, pissing about with all this. We did build Orc Terrain, the new stuff from TD Combat. Oh, nice. I haven't seen their new terrain. I've seen a lot of their old stuff. I've painted quite a lot of their old stuff. And their old stuff. And in fact, some of their old stuff too. We've done a lot of TT Combat stuff. They're decent. They're a fairly okay manufacturer. Their terrain is usually pretty good in terms of how it holds up, how it's functional. So, nice. Right, so there's a couple of them bits. And like I said, I'm thinking we cut these down to like that sort of height. Put one of the lids on. We might just go with the small one rather than the longer piece. Where's the little square dude? Let's just grab that a sec. We might just go with this and have part of this off scene, so that looks like it extends into the distance, and that'll give us a bit more room on our base. So that's an option as well. 6x4 board worth of Orc Terrain. Nice, man. Nice. Coming in sometime in spring. I can't say much more than that because I don't know myself, but sometime in spring, I've got a stream planned where we'll be outside spray painting a fuck ton of Necron terrain, start to finish. That'll be fun. That'll be fun. You need some terrain / columns, some Orc Storm Boys. Yes. Yes, cheapest chips too, which helps. It is very cheap. Their stuff is extremely cost efficient. It's not the best MDF terrain you'll ever see, but it's decent. Yeah, can't fault it. So we're thinking that somewhere on the base, like so. Obviously not this tall, but we're just putting it there to sort of mark things out, which means we could then use one of these. There's one with like a reactor thing going on, this oven grill. Let's just see what it's like with that stuck in here as well. See what room we've got. So all I know going into this is that I need some height on this that extends up beyond our Abominant. What I really don't want is just to build a platform, make it that tall, then into the stage, he's a star. Mate, he's going to have a stage. Like, that's a possibility. That sort of fits, but it's a bit claustrophobic, that, isn't it? Even if we bit that off the base a little. What if we... No, we're about as far in a corner as we can go with that. So there's not a lot of room. Okay, tell you what. Let's just start getting the big tools out and trimming these down and see what it's going to look like. So we've got a hobby saw. Obviously, be careful when you're using something like this. But it's still a saw, you know. It's also not particularly sharp, so this could take some time. It could make some horrendous noises as well. For that, I am very sorry, obviously. So I think I'm going to go in like this tall to get stuff attached to the base. So just for in comparison, we could do this. We could have this leading literally off the base as well. That's an option. Hadn't thought about that. Could have this on here. That's a possibility. Have you got one of the little ones that fits the pipes? Little what? Sorry, mate, I'm lost. Might explain pop up on mod view. Not maybe. But that's an option. So we could have this as it's like the story beanies arrived here, ready to do something dastardly with the reactor. That could be... I know you can't see it very well from here, but also I'm not going to be able to angle that without it sort of falling all over the place. But like that's kind of what I'm thinking. You know, that sort of thing. I think that looks okay to begin with. We can block the back of this up with plastic card. Easily enough, I've got some of that lying around. Just cut a piece to fit that. The top part, we've got some options. We've got like a hatch and a whatchamacallit. That's both a possibility. I like it. The little reactor thing that you put the plasma cells into. Oh, those. No, I haven't. No, I literally only bought the GW terrain from the Renegade box. I ended up with 2 of these, and the rest of the terrain I got was their like Cities of Death style stuff. Like he's messing with the reactor. Yeah, I do as well. Like it's a grate, so we could do if I put something across the back here. We could maybe like break open some of the bars, paint a possibly LED and smoke blues going at the top. Definitely not LEDs. I hate that shit. Like, especially for a painting contest, paint that shit. You know, show off the fact you can do some OSL. But I was going to say, it was maybe we could break some of these bars, maybe bend a few out a little bit, and then paint a backdrop to go in here that's got then some OSL coming out of our reactor. That could be cool. We could go with that. Yeah, I think that could be a good idea. So far we've got that going on the base as one of the focal points for... Fuck it, we're calling him Lenny. Just because of you, James. We're calling him, I'm not calling him shit. We're calling him Lenny. There's little caps. I found it on those. Nice deal. You fit one inside instead. Look at it, little guy climbing out of the reactor. I'd have to sculpt an entire arm. And my sculpting is complete gash. So he's missing half an arm. And the other half of that arm is... not that bit. Is this bit right here. Attached to this guy's thigh. And he does have a hand that comes round onto the thigh. So I can get rid of all of that. I know I couldn't resculpt that. So the other option then is, if we're going to do something like that, then we hide his other hand as if it's like in something else, fishing something out. Which again is a small possibility, but I'm not certain I can get away with that. Maybe instead they've sent the Abominant, who, let's be fair, is not looking like the brains of the operation right now, to smash the reactor. Maybe that's what he's there for. This is part of the plan, generations in the making. He's turned up to just like tool away at it, break through, turn off the power. You know, that could be an option. But so far I'm liking that. Those two things attached, and that's where we're getting our height from. We could use another set of these to help provide more of a backdrop. That might make it feel a little bit closed in, but it does provide quite a good solid like end wall. We could do. That's an option. We'll think about it. We'll table that for now. Let's look for some bits to go on this to make this a little bit more interesting. Just a plain square. We'll just clean up some of these little bits of sprue attachment, but that plan of operation would be called a plan of generators in the unmaking. Hey, Code, how you doing, man? Are you in this contest? Makes it look like a structure. That's what I'm thinking. The Underhive to me is a super claustrophobic place. You know, there's just generations, no pun intended, of people that have like left their shit down there, and things that have gone wrong that people have gone down to fix and basically bodged together. And so there shouldn't be a clean surface anywhere. It should be very much a horrible, nasty place. And I like the idea of it being super crowded and grimy and just covered in shit. So that's kind of what we're going for. What we do need to think about is how we get all of this lot on the base and in as part of it. I've got two options the way I see it. The first one will work and will be easy for me to do. The second one will not be easy for me to actually sell the effect. But the first option is we use this as the ground floor. So there's like this is on the ground and there's stuff coming up the sides of it, just bedding it into. If anyone's seen Futurama, like you know how New York is buried old New York, and New York is just built on top of it. Billy's Gaming, cheers for the follow and welcome to the stream. We could do that where like this is the ground at the very bottom. Something's obviously been filled in underneath, and this is now the top part of it. Darker Design, doing well, dude. How are you? Can confirm Abominant's very much not the brains operation. He's simply the biggest, most brutal aberrant. The familiar is usually, unbeknown to the Abominant, who thinks he's just got a little friend, one of the Primarch/Omega familiars sent along to sort of make sure the big idiots go in the right way and thumping the right things. There we go, see? Even old New York was once New Amsterdam. Yes, it was. If anyone can name that song, I'll be impressed. Just check, the bit I mentioned comes with the thermic plasma conduit set. Never mind. Yeah, I figured that was what you were going with, mate. There's some cool stuff there, but it's... I wasn't buying Conquest when that was part of the deal. I wish I had been, because I would have had a lot more scenery right now. You can. I'm sure you can. It's not... I'm pretty sure it's not the Copacabana. Like a high 90% sure that it's not the Copacabana. Tilts, what up, dude? Right, so we'll probably go with this on there, that sort of area, I think. There you go. So you were very close, Lord Gitface. I couldn't remember the name of the band though, so fucking well done to Midnight Griff. Right, that should be relatively smooth out at the bottom. So we reckon that we're going to pop that on here, stick it down, bed it in with some pumice and so on. That'll help just give it a bit of strength, because as you can see it's not completely flat, and while I could get like a sanding block out and spend half an hour wearing a respirator and fucking around with that, I'm just not going to. Probably get a little bit of green stuff and just like smush it in with that as well. So we're going to put this on there, or this on a little bit closer we go. So let's find some of the edge bits to go with it. We've got some little pipes they could go on as well, maybe. So cut some of these down and just use the smaller parts. That could be fun. That's another option. Oh, I'm so going to need more space than this today. Right, so we've got these bits. These are like the outsides of the walkway. Good man had a scary internship interview, but I got it somehow. Oh, congrats, dude. You can never be 100% sure what any Shong isn't Copacabana in disguise. I mean, I'm reasonably confident quite a lot of Shongs. That's the stage my brain's at, guys. So we're dying on the inside here today. I'm done. It could be Copacabana. We just go with it now. That's it. God, this plastic's properly thick. Ballarat could be in love. Right, so I'm assuming that these are meant to clip on to that. Yeah. So we'd want one this side. I wouldn't want one this side, because that would interrupt our view of the Abominant. But I might have another one this side to help transition into like the backdrop part being in there as well. So that could be cool. Channeling Sean Connery. Clearly. Basie, how you doing? Rails and a ladder down. Yes, a ladder down. That would be good. That would be good. It's a bit more up my former street software dev, Raf Credenham. Oh, nice. Put a ladder down the front. Oh, don't know about that. I like the idea of him getting to a barrier and then having to sort of break through the barrier to deal with the reactor. I'm just looking to see if we've got any of these that are like open. And oh, there kind of is, but I'm not sure I want to use it. There's this, which is clearly a gate. That would be really good, except it probably opens the wrong way. But we could use that on the front end. But that would block quite a lot of line of sight to this. I kind of want this to have a nice side without the rails. Yeah, that's what I was thinking when you said it. Like, yes, that makes sense. AJ, how you doing? This is yours. This is your mini we're working on now. Yeah, I want a nice warm light from the front so we can fuck around with like different light values. So have like warm light coming in, cold light behind. So that blue one side, orangey red the other. Start playing with that and having fun with it. I've never done that on a mini, and I've always thought it looked sick AF. So we could really fuck around with it and grab this bit, do the screen on this green, and then put some green glow on our Abominant as well from the back. So if this is the one furthest away, that could work. So currently we'd have this bit with this at the front. I think, no, that can't be at the front because that's definitely, that wouldn't move. But would it need to? But are we thinking that for regular maintenance there'd be no fucking about with this? Probably. This, we will cut off some of this contact point so we can fit in there. But we could do that this side. See, there's no. Oh wow, it just doesn't want to go on at all. Come on, you piece of shit. I mean, that's just not hanging on there. Ogre King getting so. Oh wait, that's not Ogre King. That's AJ Sadler. Here is your Genius Stealer Cult Abominant. Thank you very much. Gifted subs to Ogre King and Gold Battle Moose. Gold Battle Moose. That's a name. That is a name. Could you cut the barrier a bit and have it leading off the scenery? Could do. If I did that, I'd have to cut this as well, though, I think, to make it work. So with these, we might not use this particular bit, but with these two bits in, like so, and I appreciate, again, you can have a hard time seeing the scale somewhat. And then this on there. Like, if I cut the barrier, I'd have to cut this bit. And I think that having those three bits kind of just rounds the edge out a little bit. So for me, that's okay. Smithy, long time no see, bro. Hi, Conradson. How you doing? So that's kind of what we're thinking. But if we put this bit on there as well, this looks a little bit like a control panel, like a sort of touch your hand fingerprint scanner, palm scanner, something like that, which could potentially detach whatever's at the front. But I'd rather use one of these. I don't want it blocking off too much of our reactor, though. That's the thing. So if that goes on there, like from the side, we really just don't see the reactor. Guessing that's what we're calling it now, is like a reactor, like a furnace, something like that is kind of the way I'm thinking about it. So maybe we take that bit off, but we want something there. We'll work on that. But I like the idea of this bit being here to help create our sort of border between the foreground and the background. What figure did the Patreon winner get? The Patreon winner got the Orcs, Gorzag and Nickit, which just knock that down. There you go. We're going to use these guys for a video on how to paint Orc skin two different ways. One on Gorzag and a lighter version on Nickit. That's going to be a Patreon or a YouTube video. Don't know which. Depends on our release schedule. Maybe YouTube for that one, though. Other option we've got, which I kind of like now I'm thinking about it, is to grab this one. I think this works, actually. I think this works. So let's just snip all this shit off. And we're then going to cut the middle one of these bits off. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't matter. So just rough cut for now. Get in there. This month needs to have Tau. Why does it need to have Tau? Why does anything need to have Tau? Ever. Maybe I'll meet you in the middle. We got Kroot. Let's just rip these bits off. Super rough for now. Doesn't matter. But I reckon if we put both of these up, it would look enough like a barrier, but it would still give us line of sight to that reactor, and we could definitely go with that. Kroot works, brilliant. Tau and chips, tasty. You know, Tau are cows, right? I know a lot of people don't necessarily understand that, but they have bovine hooves. They're not fish people, they're cow people. They were cow people before the elves were cow people and made it uncool. Oh, that's the wrong side. Oh, no, that is the wrong side, but why does it need to be the wrong side? These could be really good for like a little safety gate kind of thing. Maybe that's like a force gate. So instead of that being a physical barrier, maybe that is a force gate, and then on this side, this little doodad is the handprint to take out the force gate. Fish with legs, the missing legs. Fish without legs then. Never had steak and chips, mate. If I'm going to have steak, I'm normally going to have it with mashed potato. And before anyone's like, mashed potato, what? You've not had my mashed potato. Nick would leave his wife for my mashed potato. You know, VIP silk rope gate. That sounds cool too. Go with that. Yeah, I'm liking that. And we can use this for a little bit of OSL, a little bit of different lighting effect going on this thing. Tau and mash. Braised tau, a little bit of mash. That would be good too. Slow cooked for 3 days. Lenny is a VIP in his mind. Are you sure? He's sure in his mind he's not like a butterfly or something. Right, so that will go on. This does not want to sit on there, by the way. This is like fighting me for it every step of the way. But that would go on like that. I think that looks pretty good as a platform. Yeah, that's pretty solid. And then with this side, we need something. We could go with these again, if we can find another one that's similar to that, just to block off like that part. Get the ladder in here, going down. We've got a couple of ladders. And they, of course, have 8 trillion connection points and rivets and everything else. Bubble and tang. Good mash is very different. I love roasties though. Oh. Good roast potatoes, unfortunately, are very hard to come by. The best potato for doing a roast potato with is a Cyprus new potato, and you get them over here in like May. And that's not really the time you want to be eating roast dinners. So that goes here according to the holes, but to be honest, I nearly said, fuck my holes. That would definitely go on there. We could do one of those bits again with the little barrier up here. Finishes that off nicely. Make sure that Lenny is further back, so you've got plenty of view on that. I think that's the way. I think that's the way. Oh, they just love pissing about with scenery. There's never a wrong answer, and it's always like this completely organic process getting to it. Just fuck around until it all works. I think we're going to have to go with one of these bits, though. And they've got a lot of connections. That bit's okay. Nemod! How you doing, bro? So that's 7 months again. It is. So we obviously had all the new kids 7 months ago, because everyone's a 7-month subscriber now. And Mada101, I mean, he's a 3-month subscriber now. You know, but that's fine. You get a new badge for that, right? So it's all good. And we'll just, there you go. Sort that bit out in a sec. But yeah, even like diorama building for contests and stuff, it's usually a case of fuck it, let's see what works, and then we'll roll with it. For me, at least, I tend not to get bogged down in plans because, you know, that whole like army saying a plan is great, but it never survives contact with the enemy. Or the fighters one, which is a plan is great until you get punched in the mouth. Well, I don't know what the painter's version is, but I've never really prescribed too much to having a plan. Happy I found you that not long Nurgle stream. Oh damn, was that when it... Yeah, that would have been. 7 months ago is when my dog got interested. Brilliant. Oh, wow, yeah. Jade, did you do the cron command yet? No, I didn't. No. Did I get Yeah, you did actually message me about that one. Yeah, well done. I was too busy making sure you were happy with your Airwater Eclipse, so therefore clearly couldn't do both things at once. I've done a lot today. Finished off Belisarius' call. He was totally finished earlier on. He's packed up, ready to go, off to his new master. We even found a way to get the 7th dwarf in there, so we've now properly got Snow White and the 7 dwarfs. Whoa. Yeah, you go. Listen. Don't even try that. Like, I make up the rules for when I take shots of habanero sauce. Not the mods. Otherwise, I'd forever have intestinal cramps or something. All good then. Also, I'm loving the air rush. Good. Rival Sarah, how you doing? We're doing some extreme basing today. If there's any bits with chain on, you could use those as a kind of safety barrier across the gap of the access point to the reactor. If I was going to do that, I'd probably buy some modeller's chain. But I was thinking that we could use this as kind of a palm reader. And then that activates an energy barrier that's here. Because these have got these kind of like electric, maybe like hazard lights on. So when they're flashing, when they're green, it's good. When they're flashing like amber, then it's not good. Notice how there's a story that's coming out of nowhere with this. You know, that's the way. Smithy, no, so that hasn't come through yet, but if you refresh, it probably will. We get this issue every now and again. Also got any tips for content creation? As a guy at my local club has started a channel and is trying to grow, but would like tips. Be yourself, but turn the volume up. So, there's a few people in the stream that have met me, like in real life, we'll say, and they'll know that this is exactly how I am. It's just on camera, I just turn the volume up on that a little bit. So what that really means is that I'm more of myself. I make more silly jokes, stupid faces. I talk more shit. You know, whatever it might be. Be yourself at full volume. It was the same with wrestling, though. You know, the crowd can see through your shit. Totally see through your shit. A good tab, better now. I've just finished in the Batcave. Everything is made, boom, done. Awesome. Also follow everyone else and visit their streams all the time. Yeah, I mean, I do, but I lurk. Like, I don't say shit. Because as soon as I start talking, that's it. I'm not going to get any work done. And I need to work. Banging. Yeah, that's good. So we've got that as Lenny's little platform. Yeah. Be Attitude Era WF, but don't be so Attitude Era that Twitch bans you. That's right. That's right. Give your boss the fucking stunner. All the time. What kind of content, though? Are we talking Twitch or are we talking YouTube? Because obviously there's different... like... different ways of working towards a community, and I think the community is the most important thing. Like, I do a lot of what I do because you guys are epic. Sarah, peace. It's YouTube, but for Age of Sigmar. Then intend to start playing 40k. Sincerely, like, help a brother out. You know, friends don't let friends play Sigmar. Okay, there's a light on that side, so we'll have that this way around, just so we can paint another source of fucking OSL. Because why not? Glowy shit in the Underhive. But this is good. This is good. We've got a ladder, which is going to go like, not that, just go forward a bit, like that. So let's trim that down just above that line. Intent to grow his community, he's doing a giveaway and also doing reviews for most armies to affect. Oh, yeah, that's cool. I mean, giveaways help, but they'll only help if you've got some substance, I feel. I say that very arrogantly, I appreciate. Because I do a lot of giveaways, and I'm now saying that I must have some sort of substance, but people will come back if you do. They probably won't if you don't, regardless of how much free shit you give out. Got some Vallejo texture stuff. Holy hell, I'm impressed with it. Yes, man. Absolutely. Absolutely. Basil Storms, you take care, bro. Yeah, that, especially the Dark Earth, which I use a lot, is great. Please tell me you'll paint all this on Twitch. We will do the vast majority of it on Twitch. Depends. Some things might not, you know. But the goal for the giveaway minis is always to use those as stream content to give me a palette cleanser from maybe painting. I'm not saying this because he's here. 40 Blood Angels. Right, that's cool. That fits on like so. We've got our reactor going on. Okay, the ladder's going to have to come forward then. So we'll have to cut the top off of that. And I should give it a quick shave. It's just a haircut, brilliant. Yeah, okay, is exactly right. You don't want giveaways to be the only thing they're there for, right? That should be like cherry on top kind of deal. We love your streams, and we love your content, and you're also a mad lad giving away whatever it might be. Speaking of giveaways, just fucking stay there for a second, please. But speaking of giveaways, very shortly it's the stream's first birthday. And we've got a epic giveaway planned for that. And before we can fully commit to it, oh yeah, bastages. We need to know what other combat patrols and so on GW might bring out. Right, that's going there. That's going there. And that's going in the background as well. We need this properly face on, I guess, to that now, don't we? That's where it's going to have to go. We've got to have the reactor directly in line of here to enable that walkway to all make sense. So the ladder will fit on. Just about. Just about. So that's cool. Right, sweet. So we know roughly what we're doing with all of this stuff. let's get some of this built, and by some of it I mean like literally this part, because the rest of it is subject to change still, perhaps in that. Although I like that one. That's it's got a good base to it, which means we've also got to get a lot of this cleaned up, and we need to work out what we're doing with the top part of this. So that's yeah, that needs to be done. You paint it as it's definitely going to be as parts. Definitely as parts. Very tough says, I think I'm going to put together a cool Blood Angels Force after the Knights. Nice. A-Cold, 3 Doomsday Arcs. Wait. No. Definitely never again. Don't mention those here. Probably a shot glass, that's what I do. That's probably what I'm going to end up doing. See, doing that's the... Nundums. You like the fan top? I did too. I don't know if it's right for the story of this. We've got this as being like a source of fire. I'm going to break this in a minute as well. We're going to just smash something through it. You put the Abominant normally, but I have the little familiar thing do something I can drop it. I wondered about that, but unfortunately, one of his arms is attached to the Abominant's leg, and it's a claw that is entirely like holding his thigh. Like imagine this is his leg. It's kind of like this, and I can't sculpt that. You don't want a hatch on top. Yeah, I know, right? I know the hatch doesn't make sense either. The smokestack does, and we've got some of those here. But then we're looking at that's what 4 inches tall, nearly 5. That's a 10-inch tall piece of scenery, and I'm not sold on that either. Like this kind of works, I guess, but I'd have to cut that in half or do something cute with the plastic card backing or something else. We could use this and create like a pipe from it, maybe. What I don't want is this thing to be so fucking tall that when you photograph it, Lenny is sort of lost entirely. But we could put that on. That doesn't actually change much in the way the profile of it. Put the round fan on first, then attach that bit. Oh, is that how it's meant to go? Do these fit inside this? Yeah, they do. But then that sits this further back because the fan goes on there, and I don't want anything overhanging that way too far. Like, I feel that anything that really overhangs the base is taking the piss. I might already be taking the piss a bit too far with that because the edge of the base is here. And so, like, firing stuff too far off. Not do actual smoke like Cotton Will or something. We could do. But then that takes this, like the story of this, the reactor that could be part of what powers the hive, and turns it into basically an oil drum fire. So, I don't know. We might just do like a flat top to it, but that'll be boring. But that would be the easy option out, right? I think pipes is the way. Let's just cut the other bit of this pipe off, and we'll see what happens when we put that at the front. It might not look right at all, but let's find out. So if we just do that, that will not fit at all. That will obviously not fit either. So we'd have to use something else. Or we could cap it. No, that would look shit. We've got fans, we've got a weird door thing. Chains and things. Alright, maybe we do have to use that and then just cut it. Probably got a couple of these. So, cut a bunch of straws, tubes different heights. I have actually got, rather than using straws, a load of plastic rod. So that would work. Does that have a circular base, a square base to make it 100 times easier? It would make it 100 times easier, but I don't have one. And I looked at a square plinth to base this all off on, and that was 20 quid. Not loving that idea. I could make square base, I'm aware, but yeah, why make it easy? Why make it easy? How does that fit? Okay. So that goes like that. So we could use that and the pipe, which was Dez's suggestion earlier on, which I think we might have to go with, because at least then it looks like it's feeding something else, right? It's sending that energy it's creating to a different place. My only real concern there is I don't want to have that overhang, so am I looking at cutting the pipe as well? Like, do we cut up right up here? You know, hence why I 3D print my plinths, yeah, for sure, man. Cut the bottom part of the main bit off so it's shorter. You mean like this? No, we want... I'm okay with the height here, because this now lines up perfectly with that. You can see that's the sort of the fit, essentially. So, take the way up and cut the angled bit. Wait. Turn it the other way up and cut the angled bit to the right diameter. Turn which the other way up? Flatten the reactor back, mold under high fan bit to ease the flat back. Yeah, we're going to put some plastic card on here, so you're not going to see the inside of that. But we're not going to do any of that until we've put a piece of plastic card or something similar over here, broken this. Remember, Danny, there's a delay, so where you had your finger as I'm fucking doing this isn't the greatest help. Use 1/2 of that. Ah, I see. So, like that. That works. Yeah. So that'll give us that going on. Probably use this one, though, so we're looking to go like towards the background, which would be where the other vertical is. There. Yeah, exactly, Olsen. Yeah, there. Oh, where? So yeah, I think that's probably the best shape. Damn, I really thought they were 4 equal fucking parts. Are you horrid piece of shit? Why would you do that? That just messes with your head. So this will go on the top. We'll have this bit of pipe heading off over there. That's our reactor. What's wrong with asymmetry? Don't. Full sheet of plastic card on the back to cover it. Well, not a full sheet, because they're A4, the ones I've got. But yes, we will definitely cover up all of that. So now what we need to do is mark this out. And is there any easy way of doing this? Not really. Wow, that's... My OCD really hurts right now. Okay. Okay. There is a mature warning on the stream, alright? Tonight you might find the reason why. There we go. Fire one. There, glue it on and try and saw flush. I thought about doing that, but I think because the saw is not a great saw, it works well enough, but it's not great. I think I end up doing more damage to this than I would anything else. This way I can get most of that, and then I can just sand it down if needed. Let's see this DM like this. No, not like that. Definitely not like that. Absolutely not like that. Like, this is not what we're doing. Because if we do that, the reactor then sits below the plinth that Lenny's going to be on. Can't do that. Cut it wide and sand flush. Well, I mean, it's more going to be like scrape flush, but yes, definitely. So we just put the marks on which you can barely see, and you'll notice that they're not in the middle of those bits, which is why I wanted to just measure it on here first. And yeah, as I thought, it's that side of the line. Because this will sit on, but I want it to sit flush forward, so it just has a bit more of a presence here. So, there you go. I do know what you meant. Yeah, so somebody else suggested that as well. And you don't amputate your finger. I probably won't amputate my finger. So we'll start off just the other side of that line. Out comes Attack Life. Mate, that thing is amazing. Hey. We still have 8 fingers. I'm waiting for somebody in the chat to be like, what? Man up, cut with an axe. Oh, I've got a chainsaw. I bought a chainsaw instead of an axe, basically, Des. Does that make me less of a man? Maybe. So we could go on that way and have the short pipe height. Which, irritatingly... Oh, that is super annoying. So I've cut this in the right place. Just about. You see it's a little off angle. You know, we can sort that, no issue. But because this is where our knife lines were, there and there, and that fits flush here, they're not in the center. They're where they need to be, but they don't go across the middle of that. And so when we put our pipe on, this way there's quite a big gap. This way there's exactly the same gap. So that hasn't worked quite as well as I wanted it to, but we can sort that. Okay. I think we go this way though with the pipe. We go the slightly shorter height on it rather than the longer or the taller height on it. Just because that will push it more to the background, I think. Why pipe? Because this is going to be a reactor, like a big fiery furnace, and so that's why. That's why. It'll still work. Plastic card is your friend. Yeah, I mean, we can get a couple of thicknesses of plastic card if we need to. Or to be honest, we just take photos from angles that don't necessarily expose that, because it's not like it's an in-person contest. But that's the broad strokes of where we're going with this. Time to start cleaning up some of this shit then. So let's just work on this bit for now. And this is the boring part, but we'll try and make it entertaining. So we've got to get rid of all of the sprue joints, which are, as we pointed out earlier on, many, and these mold lines, which are irritating, and also, unfortunately, many. If we miss any, that's fine. That becomes bonus battle damage later on. Ragnarok, how you doing? So yeah, this is going to be the fun one. Now earlier on, here's how we can make this interesting. Earlier on, I started talking about a giveaway and said, oh, they need more Battle Force boxes, and I didn't explain why they need more Battle Force boxes. So let's talk about that a little bit. The reason that GW need more Battle Force boxes is because on the 25th of April, which, let me have a quick look at the calendar. April the 25th. Oh, yes, it's a Sunday. So the last weekend of April is the stream's birthday stream. I'm going to be 2 years old. It's going to be fantastic. Now, last year, I decided that I was going to do a giveaway of an Imperial Knight. Except it wasn't an Imperial Knight, because we had a custom body kit given to us by Balefire Forge, and we turned that knight into a Corn Gallant, fuck knows what they're called these days, the Spoiler, Tyrant, something, I don't know. Chaos Gallant. Strength 10 Gaming, how you doing, bro? Could be running around like a chicken with his head cut off. It's a new work site. So much needs to be assessed and updated. So a lot of time forgot. Either way, hope the hobby is treating you well. Love the work you do. Cheers and kick ass. Thank you very much, bro. Kirioff, how you doing, dude? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing alright. We are messing around with some ideas for a GT Cult base whilst talking about a giveaway. I mean, is that the actual Kirioff? I'm waiting with bated breath to find out. We will find out soon. Doing alright now? Awesome. Good to hear it, bro. So yeah, stream birthday, 25th of April. It's going to be a great weekend. The last one we gave away at Chaos Night, painted over that weekend and raffled off. This time, we decided that rather than do one big mini, I would do a lot of little minis. And so, as a consequence, we're going to paint the start of an army and raffle that off. So what we're going to need to know, and we'll start putting out some polls and so on over probably late this month into early next month, is what we're going to paint. And ideally, I'd like it to be like a combat patrol box sized force. So let's grab, I'm literally working on one at the moment. Grab this, there's the Blood Angels one. In here you get some intercessors, a tank, some aggressors with the fire, which means they're the easy to build ones, probably. Were they? I don't know, I'll have to have a look in the thing. A librarian and some infiltrators. I think they're in, no, they've got the landmine. They're in cursors. I don't know. Some sneaky boys. You get some sneaky boys and that. But that's not a bad sized start to an army, right? And I'm going to paint up basically something around that size. So it's a couple of squads of infantry, a character, and a vehicle, or another character perhaps. You know, that kind of thing. You can build either. Okay, cool. It is the same sprue then. That's good. Because the easy to build ones that I put together earlier on, I know are infiltrators. And that's these lads. And these are the ones that came in the Vanguard box, which was Shadow Spear. Probably. So, that's the kind of size army that I'd like to put together. Now, there's only a few armies that have got combat patrol boxes, and they're basically Marines. I'm assuming that there will be a Drukhari one with probably Lilith. Although she's going in some other box, right? It's going to be Lilith and some other character fighting off against each other. So we've got that. That's definitely an option. If you had a brief interaction on YouTube too at one point, keep up the great work, man. He does do great work. You cut? No, this isn't a cut. This is annoying. I get skin on my thumbs, like both, but this one predominantly, that unfortunately grows quite quick and then just sort of peels a bit, which is grim. But it's just a thing. It's an always hard thing. My mum used to call it back fringe. I don't know if that's a real word for it. But anyway, that's the kind of size army we're thinking about painting up and giving away. Now, for those armies that don't have a combat patrol box, still want to do a giveaway. So what we might do... That's it where Palatine will be. Yeah. What we might do is come up with some army lists for different factions. And anything that does have a combat patrol box, because that's the sort of cheapest way to buy it, and I'm not too worried about that, but obviously it's a good deal. Even the Dark Angels one, before anyone says it, currently if you want a Redemptor Dreadnought, that's like the only place you can fucking buy one, so, you know, it's a great deal if you want that dread. But if we come up with some army lists that are around that kind of model count, then maybe we could do that instead. So, let's say Tyranids. That's a tricky one. But I could do 20 Gene Stealers or like 10. Well, do a couple of squads of Tyranid Warriors and a Patriarch dude. Broodlord, that's it. Do a Broodlord, some Warriors, Brainbug, and some Rippers. You know, we could do that kind of thing. That's what I'm thinking of. So, for you guys in the chat, what armies would you be most interested in seeing me paint up as a weekend challenge before we raffle it off? As part of our stream's second birthday. And there will be, just like last year, as long as I can sort it out, because I can't do it on Twitch. But there will be sort of stretch goal sort of raffle prizes. So depending on how many tickets we sell, the prize pool will increase. Last year, the prize pool went from one night to the painted night, then a conversion kit, and your own brand new night to make the whole thing. Then any Titanic thing off of GW's website. We had prizes of painting lessons, prizes of dice and swag from other channels that sponsored the stream. It was fucking great. It was so great. Jaeger, I know you want that night, and I know Nick's got it sort of sat in a cupboard doing literally nothing. So if you offered him some money with like at least a couple of zeros behind a number that wasn't a zero, he'd probably sell it to you. Like, probably. I mean, you can only get 3 types of recruit units currently officially at the 5.6 there were. We're not doing recruit. Zench Battle Force box. Isn't that mostly Zangor? Wait, hang on. Battle Force. No, that's way too big. It's way too big. Do Warriors, and you want to do the Prime, do Gene Stealers, then the Broodlord. Fuck Gene Stealers. I'm not putting any more of those together ever. Drukari. No one wanted Drazar, so my quest continues. Bummer. You play Ultramarines and Necrons. We could do more Necrons, but I'm guessing the stream's going to be a little bit sick of that. Because we've obviously got the Necronathon coming up at the end of this month. The end of this month. Crazy Anked, what up, dude? Orcs, but what about Orcs? Because I'm down for doing Orcs. But I'm not down for trying to do 90 boys in a weekend. Because that's just... The whole point of doing a box this sort of size, or an army this sort of size, is you're going to get the quality. Not, we've just painted a thing. And Cake Fist, I can guarantee you it won't be Age of Sigmar. Guarantee you won't be that. Mega Knobs and Killer Cans, that could be cool. What about some... I'd say like Orc vehicles, but the only problem is that's not an army. I want to make sure that it's usable. So even at like 500 points or whatever, you know, that's doable. You could kit bash the Orcs. I could, but there's got to be a time limit of me doing this in the weekend. I can devote time outside the weekend to doing things like assembly, just regular assembly. Smithy! There you go. I mean, it's going to be something that's voted on by the chat, Smithy. You guys are going to decide. So you need to lead that campaign yourself. Crazy Hank doesn't need to be a start collecting. Definitely doesn't need to be a start collecting. But if there's a combat patrol for that army, that's probably one of the easiest ways of getting everything in there. That's worked out pretty well. So a second piece of plastic card on this to help bulk that out would do perfect. Happy days. This is one, but with the new Nundums. Well, we don't even know when they're out yet. And remember, we're doing this in April. They may not be out by then. Essentially, I'll need them done and dusted at least 2 weeks, if not 3, prior to us doing the weekend stream. But Age of Sigmar box sets, I'm not going to do a Sigmar thing. Like, for me, there's the stream birthday celebrations must sum up the stream. I'm a 40k player. I'm not a Sigmar player. I will never be a Sigmar player. Death Guard are fine. I love Death Guard minis. They're great. But I'm certainly not doing the Death Guard start collecting. Or the Combat Patrol. Here, 7 Marines. Typhus. Fucking love Typhus. And 30 Poxwalkers. Iron Warriors would be cool. But don't think about things from like a chapter, Legion, High Fleet, or whatever other perspective. Think about it from the perspective of army, because then we'll have one vote to choose the army, and then another vote to choose the color scheme, and so on. This is going to be very much community led. All right. Is one Chaos Knight a patrol? Chaos Knights don't fit in patrols. No, they're normal knights. Green Murder Hornet Nids, it's a possibility. It's going to be something that gets raffled off. So, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Definitely fun aspect. I don't think you can actually fill the Death Guard box. How many troop choices do you get in a patrol? There's only 2 that are mandatory. But don't you get more than 2 troop choices? So you can take 3 troop choices and then you're fine, right? 7 Marines, Light Hauler, a drone, a squad of Terminators, and a character. It's actually not bad. So your Shield Captain 4 dudes to the Contemptor. I mean, that's as soon as you do that, that's Forge World, and that is mucho dinero, and I'm okay with that. But we'd really have to. Around 1 squad of Poxwalkers per Marine unit. Does Typhus not have the right keywords for that? I thought that was the case. I'm gonna glue this fucking thing on in a minute. Definitely picking up the Monopose plastic Contemptor then. That's not a Custodes one. But it's not really. I know you can use it as one, but it's not really. Jim Martin! How you doing, bro? Troy is 1 to 3 troops. That's what I thought. If Typhus has the right keywords, then it's still legal. Why would you include that fan bit if it's just going to be covered by the pipe? Because the pipe doesn't fit on there. And rather than build a plastic card like surface for that to just sit on, that outside banding is a lot more interesting and detailed. So that's why. Quinn's, Carl, which we want to paint thousands of check patterns. I'm doing a Harlequin's commission next month. It's a big one. It's a fucking decent sized Harlequin commission, that's for damn sure. So we've got Quinn's coming on the channel very soon. Very soon. We're doing a diorama base for our Abominant. this is going to be entered into the Amsterdam Busy Brush Brawl Battle number 2. We're defending our title of Best Painted Single Character slash like single mini, really, I suppose. So we've got this. That needs some plastic card backing. Needs some backing behind this. And I want to break these now. So what's the best way of doing that? What brute force have I got that I can use? Hammer's outside. All the tools are out in the garage now. Don't want to go out there. I know what. I always have my best ideas when I've been drinking. Karate chop. Palm heel strike. Sugar plastic is great. If I fuck up, we can throw it in the freezer. Yes. But it is Tamiya extra thin. If you hear loud screams, it's just me. Ta-da! There you go. So now, we'll reinforce some of those bits. We've got our battle damaged reactor door, gate, whatever. I want that bit to stick to that bit, because that's the weakest part, just there. And that bit to stick to that bit. Hang it. What's the glue you're using? This is Tamiya Extra Thin Cement. It's really good. To be honest, depending on what I'm gluing together, I use this or this. I never use the GW one. This is basically the same thing, but it's cheaper by a mile. And I think you get more in it as well. But Tamiya Extra Thin is good because if you've got a joint that you're unsure about, you can put the mini together and then you put this on like on top of the joint while the two bits are together. And it's so thin it seeps down into the crack and it just glues all that shit right in. What's the name of the paintbrush use again? Estimated Point Brush Ragnarok 96. We've made cryptic commands for this shit, you see. But right, now let's tidy up some of the smash marks that we just left on that. Texture is good, but not so much. Yeah, one of the things I dislike about Tamiya Extra Thin, which is why occasionally I use the Revel stuff, is its drying time is usually a little bit longer than I want it to be. So with the Revel stuff, this would already be dry in place and we'd be sorted and I could just carry on without worrying about it at all. But the Tamiya stuff does take a little longer to dry, and that's fine. You know, it's not a big problem. Right, there's that. We're not going to glue this to the base, but that will go on at the very back of our base, like so. We'll plastic card up the back of that. We're going to put another bit of plastic card just in here, which will sit in. I'm just going to use this base for now to showcase it. It'll sit somewhere in there like that, and we can paint on that to give us a nice bright bit of glowing light. This is the next thing to tidy up then, I guess. Wait, nearly dropped it. Nearly dropped it. Let's get rid of all these mold lines. That was my brush commands. Let's not read that. Just a game of TTS was playing Death Guard, no Morty was playing Death Watch. I went first, and in turn 1, I used Super PVC Mortar Shot to do multiple wound damage characters. And I MBH, Blight Horrors, Kill Redemptor, Explosion, which characters on 1 minute after my turn 1. Nice. Nice, that's not a good game, mate. That is not a good game. That's kind of a foregone conclusion right off the start. Well done, though. I mean, you got the win. Strong win. I imagine after his first turn, or after your first turn at least, he was very much like, well, I don't know what to do anymore, and now my shit is nearly dead. So, it's a tournament. Oh, brilliant. Well, solid, mate. I mean, I'd still argue that that's not a great game. But it's a good result. Like I like games to be down to the wire, like super close. Love games like that. Time to do a quick dry version like glue. I did not know that. This was something that I've seen like every mini streamer and painter using. I'm like, well, fuck it, we'll get some. We'll see what all the fuss is about. And it's okay. Skeptic, I'm afraid you did not win. We have to do something about that. I mean, you can do whatever you like, but it's not going to change the random act of the bot picking your name out of the hat. You could double your chances by being a Patreon member. No, man, I definitely played a game. But I don't know about you guys, but I really like games of 40k where it is tooth and nail. You're having to pull shit out of a bag. Like, right, let's see if this works. And this has got to be the right play. And still close, but I'm winning now. You know, I love games like that. Any game where it's a bit of a one shot and a walkover is nowhere near as entertaining for me. But right now, I'd kill for a game of 40k. Oh, I'd even use my Nurgle Demons, which I don't have any HQs with, just to get a game. Types does not have a core keyword, and playing range do. Okay. It's got to have the core keyword. Fair. Is it advertised as playable out of a box? Is like, can anyone show me the bit on the GW website that literally says that? Because I'm not entirely sure of that. Let's get a little screenshot of that part of the GW website put in Discord. And you guys know I will call GW out on their shit all the time. But have they said that specific box? Kenneth! Thank you very much. I'm assuming Kenneth is not your stream name. So whoever you are on stream, Kenneth, cheers for being my latest Patreon. If you're even in the stream, because you might not be. That's you. Excellent. Skeptical Kenny. That's you now. But cheers, dude. Just to clarify, it is video viewer or higher members that get access to that second chance. So that's the tier just above that one. But thank you for coming in. This is being your first day Death Guard army. Yeah, it doesn't say like that is an army and that's it. Yeah, the way I read that is that it is the start of an army. So you get 20 Poxwalkers, your 7 dudes, Typhus, and then if you're looking at adding to existing force, it's still ideal. It is still ideal. I mean, it's not ideal because you probably only want one unit of Poxwalkers, and you probably don't even want that, if I'm honest. But that's like saying that they only put together the best combos in those boxes, which we all know they don't. But that's definitely a fact. exactly. But the thing is, Martin, you can field it anyway, just without 10 of your Poxwalkers. That who's really going to give a toss about? I'm guessing Death Guard didn't keep the strat for bringing Poxwalkers back from the dead. Skeptic, you fucking little legend, you. There you go. Skeptic's now up to video viewer, which means she's going to get a video every other week. And the extra chance in the end of stream, end of month giveaway, sorry. And at least one written guide every week. Sometimes up to 3. Yeah. It's a little bit iffy. I think, come on, cut them some slack. If they could find a way to stick Reavers in there, they would have. Look, the Blood Angels Combat Patrol box could have been nothing but Reavers. And they didn't do that, so you're okay. You're okay. You're going to type Battle Force from December and realise I went with one figure from the whole thing. Yeah, I know, right? Jamaican, I played against basically that list at No Retreat, and if terrain had been slightly different, I'd have destroyed him because he was pinning everything on the Iron Clock Furnace. I appreciate that's very different now, but yeah, that's a fun one. Pots are great, to be fair, and no, they got a new version of Strat now. It's roll 7 dice, each 3 plus the pots will go back into the unit. Cool. Can't go above its starting strength, I guess. Because otherwise, that's why there's 10 more Poxwalkers in there. I found a bug in your system. I need a patient support you and a PDS and a reader. Who should I write about the bug? I can spam your bot. If it's a legit bug, message me on Discord, mate, because I really want to know. Oh yeah, I'm back. Ah, unlucky. I thought we found a way. But it's still a decent box. If you look at things just from like a monetary value, is it worth what you're paying for? Yeah, definitely. Typhus is solid. I like Typhus in general. Is he the greatest thing in the Death Guard book? No. Is he someone you're going to take every game? No. Is he someone you might build a little bit of a list around? Yeah, for sure. Is he one of the coolest Death Guard models that they've ever made? Yes. I fucking love that mini. He's super cool. Cheers, Skeptic. Hell yeah, I've got 2. Still a previous Typhus mini. I think that is one of the better minis they did of that era. I think Khan was the better one out of all the 4 Chaos dudes they did, but Typhus was real close in behind. Real close in. Of course, Death Guard model ever made is the Gnome with the helmet. No, definitely not. Definitely not. Exploding Fruit. I know which one you mean. The I'm trying to remember the name. Playcaster, Malignant Playcaster. He is very cool. He is very, very, very cool. But I actually prefer one of the regular Chaos dudes at that hero set. It's the one with the... If I just say the one with the face, I think everyone will know who I mean. But they've done an amazing job sculpting that, and the artist did a cracking job on the paint with that one too. That I think is the best out of that whole set. What the fuck is that long ass link? It's a Reddit link. No, I know exactly which one you're talking about. And no, it's not the best Death Guard model. No. In your opinion, it might be, but I'm sorry, Mr. Martin, you're entirely incorrect. You're wrong. Just wrong. It's not even the best Nurgling. It's not even the best Nurgling. It's not even the best 40k Nurgling. Because the best 40k Nurgling is like the hero Mortarion one. No. Oh, they can, Oakin. That opinion's wrong too. What is with these fucking ginormous links? Link broke. I mean, Link ran out of fucking room. Yeah, target number 4. Thank you very much. That's correct. I know which Nurgling that is. I have painted quite a lot of Death Guard. Okay, Skeptic. Let me just check this Discord message. Because now I'm concerned that you're... change for the game stream. Okay, cool. All good, right? I'm glad. That's good. I'll make sure your Discord access is sorted out after the stream, mate. Sometimes it'll do it automatically if you've correctly configured Discord to Patreon. Sometimes it just decides that you've done all these things, but it still doesn't want to give you anything. Holy shit! Ogrekin, what is this? Absolute craziness. Throwing the hearts in the whiskey jar. Thank you very much, dude. Let's get some love in the stream for Ogrekin. Throw some meeps in there. Say thank you to our brother sending us those shares. Alright, what time is it? We've had loads of fun tonight. Fuck, it's 10:30 already. Shoot in the link. Is that the one you mean? No, definitely not. Like, I understand the sassy Nurgling. I get it. It's not the best one. The best Nurgling in general is the operatic Nurgling, for a start, for a Sloppy Barpiper. This is the best Nurgling. This happy little fucker right here on the base. He's the best Nurgling. Oh, and no, it wasn't the Chaos Marine. This one is the best Nurgling. I love him so much. Actually bought a second one of that mini just to paint him again. Hey, it's good that he's going in the army, but I'm looking forward to painting the Nurgling more than I'm painting the fucking Sloppity man. No, you can't use him for Death Guard. He is, and you really can't now, because as soon as you put a demon in your Death Guard attachment now, you lose contagions, and you can't do that. You really, really don't want to be doing that. So that's a solid no. Can't have that happen. Right, that is that bit done. We've got, should be 3 of these. 1, 2. 3. There we go. But the best 40k one is on Mortarion's base. And there's a Nurgling that's clearly fucking super powered. Is a little hero in his own right. And he, I think, is the best one for 40k. Then, well, what is the point of Death Guard? Brilliant. No, you can't even put in Nurglings and stuff now, which is a shame. Mostly because the Poxbringer that I've been painting up for Ben was to go in his Death Guard army, and now if he summons him in, he loses contagions. Onion Kings, cheers for the follow. Much appreciated, bro. So GW stopped a little bit of Chaos Suit there. And maybe expect that to happen in a regular Chaos Army as well. I want to airbrush. Go or no go. For complete starter who want to explore the world of airbrush, look, you will not find a better airbrush than this right here. Iowata Eclipse is legit for me the best airbrush, and I've used plenty of the high-end ones, either conventions or like friends have had one that I've given them a go. This for me is the king right here. It's easy to clean. It's so easy to use. It's really easy to clean. And I know I've mentioned that twice. It's because you really want to be looking after that, and you don't want to spend forever doing it. And we've used that thing for 16 hours in a go. I've not used the Neo. I've been told it's good. There's two versions of Neo, right? One was with a trigger on it. Fuck it, J roll a d6. No, we're not falling for that again. Not falling for that again. On a 4-up, I'm going to buy one. Oh! Oh, I will let you choose your fate then, sir. We've got Deep Game Spain! Absolute superstars coming in with a stonking raid. Absolute stonking raid. How are you guys doing? Buenos noches. Buenos tardes, I guess. No, noches is right. Tardes is afternoon. Definitely not. Fuck. My Spanish is terrible. I'm really sorry. Master Zaffarel, how you doing? Ginger Zingiber, I guess. Sai Sanguino, Carol762, Templar Cecilia, Youngwell, Buenos noches, thank you. All I know is the really bad words, so, you know. Tend not to just randomly yell them out. And Maven, Vinklander, Jordy PN. How you guys doing? There he is, Antonio. What up, brother? How's your guys' stream tonight? What were you talking about? To explain the fucking unholy mess that is here, Espartano90 and Makea, thank you very much for the follows. We're building a diorama base for our Genius of the Occult Abominant to go on. No one expects a Spanish raid party. Brilliant. Brilliant. Templar Cecilia, Rascacol Milo, Deep Game Spain raid just coming up on the. Oh wait, hang on. How did you raid twice? I didn't expect the second raid. There we go. So what we've got so far, let me reassemble most of this nonsense. So that bit goes on this side. Malaga War Games coming in with a follow as well. Let's make sure we get you before the alert comes up. There's that second raid. Crazy. You good mini for paint? Cheers, bro. Right, so we've got a little sort of plinth that our dude is standing on. And we've got a couple of little barriers to go on around the outside. Fran Aran also with a follow, or Fran Aran. Could be either way, different pronunciation. Oh, that doesn't want to stick on there now. There you go. 1, 2. So we've got this little plinth. There's another one of these going on here, which we need to just trim down to be able to get put on there. Our Abominant will sit just on top of this. Too many people for one race, they did 2 apparently. Brilliant. Let's pick a d6. Come on. Pick one. Zaffarel, thank you very much, bro. Really appreciate it. So this is going to go on the base about there. We've just created a little reactor, and the whole point of this is that the reactor is going to sit just opposite the end of here. We're going to put something like this there as well to help create a nice framed backdrop to it. And if I tilt that ever so slightly, I'll be able to talk through a bit of the story. We've basically come up with all of this on the fly this evening because we had no idea really what to do. We're just sort of rolling with it to see how it goes. So that bit will go on like so. And what we're going to do is we're going to start playing around green middle one. Twisted dice one. It's a 3. Buy it anyway, Danny. Do it. We're going to have a light source in here. So we're going to have nice fiery, warm light coming from this angle. Because we're setting this in the underhive, where our Abominant is stood on the board, all of the light sourcing behind it will be quite dark, so like darker blues and so on. Maybe some purple light, perhaps, don't know. And then with this bit being on there, what we've kind of decided is that this little screen could be like a palm reader. So you just go up there and you put your hand down, and then between these two bits, as denoted by the safety lights we've got here, would be like a force field. I'm going to have the Abominant, time for that cardboard cutout a la 2nd edition 40k. He's going to stand here. This is so ghetto. So ghetto. But he's going to stand there as if he's smashing the reactor. He's going to try and break the reactor so that the other members of the cult can go and do whatever it is that they need to do while all the power is down, the security is down. They can just get shit done. So that's what we've been doing tonight. This is just for a diorama base, and we've smashed up a load of scenery. We literally we destroyed this by putting the clippers in there and just bashing them. So why not? Why not make it cool and fun? We've still got more things to add to it. For instance, I know this bit's going this way round because there's another light here. We can do another little bit of like object source lighting and so on for it. And we can sort of work through it. Martin, he's going to fit on a 40mm base. There's the base. Like, he's not going on the base on this, but it's all going to be in there. Yep, familiar as well. As much as I'd love to put the familiar somewhere else, my sculpting is terrible. And so I'm not going to be able to resculpt that Genius of the Occult hand. I'm not in a position to do that. So. I slipped. Brilliant. Well done, mate. Where did you get it from? Is it the link that Tony Spruce got his from the other day? Because he managed to get his today. And I'm super, super happy about it. I'm going to buy some gunpowder because I just accidentally slipped. Brilliant. There was no accident. You weren't even pushed. Gulmeev, possibly. Thank you for the follow. And Balgalat100 as well. Thank you too. Did I miss somebody? I think I might have done. I'm really sorry if that's the case. Yes, Paramio. Thank you for the follow. And Iman Duke 14. Thanks to you too. So yeah, we've had a fun stream. We have had a fun stream. What have anybody else been doing this evening though? There's quite a lot of you just coming over from Deep Game Spain stream. What are you folk up to? Gotta go. Peace out, Oakin. Have a good evening, man. So we're just cleaning up all of these parts basically. So we can start on a little bit of assembly. We've put together the big furnace. That's sorted out. Custodian Andrew 13. Thank you for the follow. Huge welcome to everyone following now from Deep Game Spain. Hope you guys got to enjoy the Las Vegas Open this weekend. Commentated, I've been told, phenomenally. in Spanish. I've managed to watch one of the semi-finals. Apparently the one where Manny was playing Tanks List, he absolutely just slapped Dan all over the table. You know, that's Manny. That's Manny. I count myself very fortunate to have a winning record against him. He's a beast. Paint a Space Marine in an inverted Sons of the Phoenix scheme for a competition. He's just turned out just okay for now. Nice, dude. So what, mostly pink with a white, or purple with a white arm? Nice. Which competition? Maybe we're competing in the same competition. This is for the Amsterdam Battle Brothers Busy Brush Brawl Battle. Way too many B's in that sentence. We got there in the end. Look at purple. Nice. Bloody Rain asked, he's super cool. He's my favourite. He is my favourite. And when the demons for 40k get a new book, the bright yellow Noble Demon Army we've got right here is going to get expanded upon. It just will. It just will. Will it all still stay Nurgle? Probably, because I really hope they give you something for being mono-faction other than the Shaft. Because that's how it feels at the moment. Oh, you're playing Mono God. Great. Why? Gotta smash those noobs. Brilliant. It's like a scene in Rocky 4. If he dies, he dies. Love it, dude. Love it. Well, good luck with that. That could be smoother. Not worried too much about any little mold lines because Underhive, you know. But let's not have a horrible shit show's worth of them. So this is the one we're going to cut this bit off of. Let's go in the correct way. So this is going to go at the front. It's going to be a really fun project though, like pissing around with different light values and stuff. Never done it before. Always wanted to. I've seen loads of people that have painted these things where they've just got like two sources of light. It's normally like a bust or something where you've got one half a face one and the other half a face the other. Really, really interested to see how we can pull this off by using some of our own like style, some of the own airbrush tricks and so on that we've worked with for the last many years. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. Big thing for me, I think, is going to be getting the shadows right. Because I want the light coming out of the furnace to be kind of a tight focus. Because the last thing I fucking want is this mini to be all orange from one side and all purple with a spot of green from the back. What's the point in that? That's nothing. So we want to make sure the light from the furnace is far enough behind the grate that the light is kind of weak but is sort of spotlighted out, rather than it being there's a big orange blob or there's a big yellow blob or something similar. Right, all that bit is done. Sort out the ladder, which is super annoying. But it's also going to change the values on a lot of the bits and pieces at the front. You know, so obviously the walkway is going to be a different color as well. That's why we want to do that little glowing palm scanner. Totally really sick. I don't think I've got one. But if I could get a hand that was like that, sort of cut off. That would look really cool. I wonder if I've got something that's close in size. Almost like they've taken somebody's hand off. Like they've gone and found an engineer, cut his hand off, taken his hand down there with them. Bit hammer time. I think that would be fucking ace. Nice little extra detail. Just need to find a hand. Maybe I've got a spare somewhere in the Noble Demons that isn't just a fist, because most of them are just fists. And that would look silly. Like rigor mortis and all that. It's hammer time! Always. When it's Abominant time, it's always hammer time. Power Sledgehammer. This speaks to me on a deep level. I like the absolute brutality of it. Right. Could give him an axe, could give him a sword, could give him some of the sharp edge, or he could just beat the living fuck out of something. I think that's my favourite bit, you know. Slapmaster 6000, great. This is why the Aberrants, I really like the stop sign dude. Right. Smashing Space Marines in the shops with a stop sign. What don't you love about that? Right, is that all of those parts? I think that's all of those parts. So this big chunky boy to do, if we even use this one. So we've got choice of 2 others, which I nearly threw on the floor. We've got this one with a big old fan. Maybe. Got this one with a big extractor fan. The back sides of it is a clock. That's kind of interesting. A Mechanicus symbol is not interesting. Some lights and some gauges. That seems like that's the sort of thing that you'd have here. I'm liking this one more. Because the whole like pressure system and so on. Too many sprues. Peace out, bro. Thanks for your job. Tonight, epic modding as always. I'll see you soon. Go play with your airbrush a little bit. Funny thing was, I was at Warhammer World Hobby Camp 12 years ago as a graphic engineer on the same course. We won't let you use hobby knives due to Warhammer World's insurance, even though he's on a daily basis for his work. Yeah, I totally understand that though. Like, wait. I think I'm going with this one. We have got loads of cables. So we're going to use some of these, maybe even the chains and so on. I don't know. The chains are a bit of a weird scale for me. But this one with all the dials and stuff on, I think this one would look exactly right for what we're working with. Let's chop these bits. I'll do it in a minute before I fire them across the room and never see them again. And we use some of the cables. We're not going to go mad, but we're going to use some. It's not that I don't want the detail. I'm not fussed about the detail at all. More detail is usually fine. What I don't want is it to look too busy. It's like when we did Call, we were talking about GW's paint scheme and how they hadn't done the model any favours by using every paint colour ever on all these little random bits of tat. And we don't want to do that here, just with extra bits of stuff, alright? Let's get a shot of all these. And then spend the next however long, 12 years, cleaning this. Didn't you stop sign of bashing Marines, use a lump of concrete on the other side of the pole? No. That's the counterbalance for the stop sign. That's a stop sign to the head of a Primaris Marine. That's the way my headcanon works. Is that way around. It's like, hey, you there. Stop. Whoosh. I reckon they've all got slightly posh English accents. Like they belong in Jane Eyre or something. But every single time they use the stop sign, they pull out some other shitty pun, just like that. Stop releasing more bloody Primaris units. Look, they start releasing Primaris Lieutenants after 20. One for each Primarch, you know. Ah, some James Bond shit, yes. Almost both of them, is it stop, hammer time? Yeah. Lieutenant. Hey, you can lame-o at that as much as you want. That's the correct pronunciation for it. If you bloody colonials across the pond didn't stop changing words, you'd be alright. Now, I know it's written lieutenant, and so it makes perfect sense. There's no F or T in lieutenant. There's two T's in it. Like, I don't know what you want out of me for that one, but definitely wrong twice. But the correct pronunciation is lieutenant. And the reason it's lieutenant is because, to my knowledge, and this is not encyclopedic at all, it's from the French. So that's the correct. They can't say aluminum. They can't say tap either. They call it faucet. But yeah, the correct pronunciation is Lieutenant. Downtown Abnett, brilliant. Brilliant. You've just won the chat. You won the chat right there. Spelling actually sounds like the F sound. It's only modern English where it sounded different. Fair. There you go. See? Just old school. But it's definitely Lieutenant. Hey, sometimes the pronunciation of words doesn't make sense. Usually in small villages where if you pronounce them the way they were said, it would be a very rude word. No, sorry, Dornish Vintage, you're absolutely incorrect. Lieutenant. I don't know the history of it, but I do know that's how you meant to say it. There's got to be other words that people can think of that are like that, that aren't written the way they're said. There's got to be loads. Lieutenant sounds like David Tennant's estranged brother. No, it's just the guy that stood, like, not to his right. That's also a family member. Ugh, look at this mold line. It's catastrophic. There. Yeah, but they have different spellings for each one, though, right? Say China for the country should be closer to Xinhua. Yes, the name Sioban, pronounced Siobhan. Yeah, that's right. My housemate once doggedly called somebody called Siobhan Sioban for over a year before a complaint at work stopped him from doing it. She finally got pissed off enough to complain. That wasn't the most mature thing he's ever done, let's be honest, but it's an odd name. Sioban, as it's written, is a traditionally Irish or Scottish name, which is Siobhan. So yeah, there's another one that's absolutely... Yeah, Neve is a weird one. Neem. Yeah, I didn't understand that at all when I first met somebody called Neve. But But there you go. That's another entire word that has absolutely no connection the way it's said. Can we find any that aren't names? Aluminium is apparently the same. The scientists discovered it. They described it as aluminium. It's just the British got it wrong. Yeah, I bet an American said that. Mark Mania, how you doing? How do the Americans... No, you know what? I'm not going to go there. I was going to make a really bad American history joke, and I won't, because at that point it would seem like I've got a bone to pick or an axe to grind or something. I really don't. I've got a lot of American friends from my days spending time on a particular subreddit for cigars. Absolutely nothing against Americans at all. Welsh different from Scottish. Welsh is unintelligible. Yeah, close to. Q. My God, yeah, there's a lot of Q's. Technically, it's a British thing, so fair. So for them, it's the right way of pronouncing it because it's a different meaning to them. Was it? Arkansas, pronounced Arkansas. Is it really? I actually thought they were two different places. I thought they were two different places. Celtic, scone, scone. Oh, is it scone or scone? Is it same as is it Bath or Bath? Yeah, that's a big debate there, isn't it? Hopefully, old world. I don't miss playing old school Warhammer. I played it for a lot of years, and part of me misses the movement phases to it, but I don't miss a lot of it. That said, I will still say Lieutenant and Aluminium because I'm not from the States. Dornish vintage, great. Arkansas is pronounced Arkansas, Kansas is pronounced Damn. It's a muffin, not a fucking bread roll, by the way. But what Americans call muffins are not the same as what we would call muffins. Pivot. Is it a bap or a cob or a biscuit? If it's a bap, it's definitely not a biscuit. Biscuits should be like crunchy and have like a very short crumb to them, so they break. Whereas a bap is basically a bread roll. Been sat here a good hour now trying to figure out how to break down Archeon for painting. Don't put the wings on for definite. Don't put the rider on. I don't meant literally place off for a higher ranking officer, and the Brits have this. It comes to military customs, lower ranking, so he walks on the left side of the scene. Ooh. Basie, look at you. Fucking legend. Oh, old school Warhammer. Yeah, God. Like, I get pissed off enough with people in 40k fucking up their movement and mismeasuring. It was so much worse playing old school Warhams. Because, like, oh, I'm just going to turn this way and then move. It's like, hang the fuck on. Do you know what a locus is, pal? Big one. Jam first or cream first? Always cream first. There isn't a debate. It's always cream first. Our fries are your chips, our chips are your crisps. Yes. Yes, they are. Biscuits in a barbecue, crossing a muffin and a scone. Yeah, they are, aren't they? They're big fat like scones, basically. Just a little bit doughier. Polly in there with a burn. Oh dear. Our western side English muffins are almost but not quite crumpets. No, there's a big difference between a crumpet and an English, like, so English breakfast muffins is what you guys think we mean by a muffin, I think. Old Hammer. I think there's a place called Old Hammer. Really message me when I see Old Hammer. Brilliant. You should try their gravy. What's the deal with American gravy? I assumed it was mostly the same as ours, but usually, like, chicken gravy is a big thing, right? Lots of holes in the crumpet. Yeah, there is. Yeah, crumpet's got a surface that looks like a big old sponge. Super zoomed in on. Biscuit cream in the US is like a scone with cream, fat, and poor bacon bits. Wings and rider off, keep your 3 heads separated, having the main body, tail, legs, etc. put together. I think that'll work. Yeah, I've never done Archaon. He's one of the best minis that they have for Sigma. I fucking love that mini. They did a metal version years and years and years ago, right? I'm pretty sure I remember that. And that was really good. Why are you putting milk in tea? Tea should not be made in a tea bag. Tea should be made after fishing whatever you can out of Boston Harbor. Not going down that route, all right? But no, I don't drink a lot of tea. But whenever I drink tea, it doesn't have a tea bag. It's loose leaf and it's lovely. It doesn't have milk in it. American bacon is fucked up. How is American bacon fucked up? What's wrong with American bacon? It's been this box under my bed for almost a year. I've been avoiding tackling out of fear of painting him shitty. Ah, dude, don't worry about that. Like, honestly, don't ever. This goes to anyone in the chat of whatever painting standard that you feel you're at, and the one you feel you're at might not be the one you're actually at. You might just be a bit harsh on yourself, or equally you might, be the other way. But whatever painting standard you feel you're at, don't get intimidated by a miniature, because what happens if you fuck it up? Come on, tell me the worst thing that happens when you fuck up painting a mini. Dornish Vintage. I keep wanting to call you Dornish Village. I don't know why, but Dornish Vintage. I was a chef for a little over 10 years, and I have lost count of the number of chefs that I have met that think you make gravy using Bisto. You do not at all use Bisto to make gravy. That's not gravy. Not anymore. The price of meat, not even that. Just some time. You just, because I think you've maybe had a traumatic experience. But don't be worried about it. All you do is you paint over it, and if the paint's really thick and you've really made a mess of it, then that's fine. You strip it and start again. It's not like you're trying to negotiate world peace. No. I drink a lot of tea, so don't make it fresh every time. Tea-bag's fine, but at least it should be the same colour orange as David Dickinson when it's finished. Fair. No, I like a nice Earl Grey or something, maybe with some corn flour or something like that. Not corn flour, like the packet, corn flowers, the blue flowers. Stuff like that. It's good. What do you use to strip it? I use BioStrip 20 if I've got to strip an entire mini. They still preferred the Bisto. Then your gravy was adequate, we'll say. Great gravy. Sauces are one of those things, though, that take a lot of time and a lot of skill to actually perfect as well. So, but don't ever worry ever about fucking something up, because it happens. Everyone makes mistakes. I make plenty. I make loads. I've got a shelf full of painting awards behind me, and I make loads of mistakes. It's natural. It's a normal thing to happen, and just let it be when it happens. It's all good. They wouldn't even try it. What? Oh, there's something wrong with your friends then, man. Martin, you don't. Look, I've worked in a Michelin star kitchen, alright? You don't need to take that long to make a sauce. And if you're boiling your stock for any longer than, really, 2 hours, Everything else is kind of diminishing returns. But it will take me quite some time to make something like a good peppercorn sauce. Because you take a good beef stock that you've made from scratch, roasting your bones, all that lot. And you reduce that down to the point where you have like this much left in a pan, that you started with this much in a pan, and then you fridge it, skim it, and you start your demi-glace, and away you go. I did. I think you told me. Yeah, good stuff. Does buy strip stink? No. Not really. What was Workshop? How you doing, brother? Get some love in a stream for this epic streamer. I'm making a horrendous mess as we are creating a diorama base for our Gene Stealer Cult Abominant mini that was won this month. Right, so let's go on there. Light at the front. Start slapping some. Use the Rebel shit for this. Making mood for more than like 5 to 10 min always 5 to 10 min always feels not worth it. Maybe for you, bro. Nah, man. I love cooking. It's one of the best things about having a girlfriend again, is that I have somebody to cook for. Like, that's something I missed quite a lot. Because painting's great. Painting gets like one part of my creative outlet fired up and going, right? But cooking a nice dinner, getting those reactions. See, my normal meals throughout the week are super simple. Super simple. I eat a lot of basically chicken and vegetables. Because it's healthy. And it's low cost, it's low effort. It's not particularly high calorie, as long as you're not putting a load of extra shit with it. And I like the taste of veg. You know, I'm not a vegetarian, will never be a vegetarian, but, you know. Yeah, I cook everything from scratch too. But to be fair, we've come from a different background with that. Which is that my background with that is cook it and get it ready for service fucking now. And so I'm a little bit faster than most when it comes to that sort of thing. Just go to the office, I would bake for the team. I used to do brownies probably 2 or 3 times a year. And my brownies, you will not have a better brownie than mine. That's not an arrogant boast, it's a fact. Just won't. That's not bad on 35 quid a week. Dude, I am cheap when it comes to food. I spend £20 a week to feed myself. Apart from Wednesday nights and Saturday nights, when, because me and my other half are together, we will either cook something a little bit more fancy, or maybe once a month have a takeaway, or something along those sorts of lines. When's the next batch? I fucking love brownies. Mate, I'm not making brownies. Because currently I'm in a house basically on my own, aside from Ben, and Ben don't need no fucking brownies. But I know that I will demolish the brownies pretty handily. My friend has a special ingredient to his and they're amazing. Well, mine don't have that special extra ingredient. Never been interested. But taste-wise, mine will win out. How many bits to get some brownies? Millions. Make the brownies a stream giveaway prize. No way, man. No, couldn't do that, because shipping them out would just be a nightmare. Like that's a solid no. Because what if somebody won those that lived in the US? I'd have to fucking export food, which is probably illegal, without some sort of license. They wouldn't last. Because the fucking sniffer dogs would be like, I want. Chocolate or no? But the reason my brownies are so good, and we're going into the whip very, very, very quickly. So get ready, guys. Exclamation point whip. Go and post your stuff. We're late into it, and I want to try and get a decent night's sleep tonight because I'm still feeling pretty rank. I didn't say a sniffer dog should eat it. I think they don't want to eat it. I know lots of things you can't feed dogs. But yeah, I'm not going to send out brownies. Alright. I'm going to finish this bit, the gluing part of this bit. And then we're moving on. It's whip time. Got the ladder to go on. You need to go on right up here. So, it's pretty empty in there. Okay, that's actually good for once because I nearly made the decision before we started the stream to just say there's going to be no whip tonight. If I'm honest, I'm very surprised I've had enough energy to get through the stream and be as animated as I have been. But obviously we're doing okay, so we're going to do the whip. Your music is always so intense for the calmest of activities. Sometimes it's calm, sometimes it's so not. It can be both things. Right, that's going to go on there. We've done that part. Lenny stands on there, like so. Well done, Second Ed 40k, taught you some valuable lessons. The reactor thing goes here, and then we've got our clock tower thingamajig. It's going to go right up here at the back. And that's what we're going to do. This is going to be our entry for the Busy Brush Brawl battle for the Amsterdam Battle Brothers. We've got some space quite low down. Could get some bits and pieces on there, make it look cool. Yeah. There we go. So tonight we worked from literally... Is that a stunt, Lenny? Yes, it is. We worked from literally no idea of what we're going to do to a finished concept, at least, of what we're going to do. This is super plain, and I might add something to the top of that, but I don't know what. I've got a few bits from another scenery kit which I might use to just add something. And like I said, on the base, that's very, very empty. And so we'll do something with it, but I don't know exactly what. And that will probably be a little closer into something more along those sorts of lines. Let's grab a... There you go. So something like that. It's not bad. It's not bad. Cool beans. Right. It's doing the whip. Lenny stands. He used to be Cadian. Oh, dear, oh dear, oh dear. If you watch Malev stream, he's proper chilled and got me into the painting mood again. Malev is excellent. I fucking love that dude. Still need some work, not gonna lie. Yeah, definitely plenty of work, dude. Toxic barrel spit all over. Have I got any barrels? I have. I've got some barrels, actually. And I've got some, like, generator-looking things. Where did I put all my Spellcrow resin bits I got from Rival Crafts? Are they in that fucking toolbox? They are, aren't they? Yeah. So... I've got a couple of these, they're like generators. And so one of those, like down here, would look cool. Blocks off a little bit of the wide open area as well, which is nice. So, and what tangent, what's your opinion on if it... Oh, I haven't seen any of that, unfortunately. And Dawn's Village, Vintage, sorry. Yes, they are. This is the Christian Forge Shrine that came with Renegade. I've got some Necron crystals. We've got some random 3D printed bits as well, actually, which could be useful. So we've got loads of these sorts of things, like little industrial miscasts. But these are 3D printed. I think they're 3D printed like the plastic. What's like FDM printer? You're standing in water. I wondered about that. Like right off the get-go, I thought maybe we have that leading down into like some waves and so on. But with all of the OSL I'm planning on doing with this, it's just not going to be a thing that I can possibly like take on. TTS, I've been told is great. I just haven't got around to it. So yeah, we've got a few bits like that. We'll find out and see what we've got and go to it. But not bad. I need to put Lenny together and we'll get him undercoated, ready to go. We'd end up having to paint a lot of the environment before we get around to doing Lenny himself, though. Just to make sure we get all our values right and so on. So the next couple of streams, this is what we're going to be painting. Basically scenery. But very cool scenery that we're going to put a lot of effort into. For now, though, let's head on over. Cool. Let's head on over. Cheers, Skeptic, as well, by the way. One more time. For your help today. To the Work in Progress Gallery. So, Ragnarok. Constructive criticism, please. I must be better at painting toy soldiers, he says. Well, you've done a really good job so far, dude. Okay, so when we zoom and enhance, we've got a couple of issues. Your highlights have gone a little extreme, but not necessarily in the right places. So you've got a yellowish green highlight on the hand and the shoulder pad trim, but not on the biggest focal point, which would be his face. On marine helmets, this V here is the place to put that highlight, and then a tiny little one at the top of their mohawk. That's it. Tomorrow's stream is Wednesday tomorrow. We don't stream on Wednesday, mate. Thursday will be the next stream, 9 PM. Always 9 PM. Apart from Saturday, where it's 11 AM. I can see that highlight's just there, but it's not quite right. However, aside from that, if we're being really picky, there's a bit of silvering on your decals. That could do with just maybe a matte varnish. It's a bit late now. You've got things like your tufts and so on the base to do that. But otherwise, mate, you've done a really good job. You could do an eye glow. That's easy enough. Just get those little bits under there. Makes it separated from the lens and so on. You've done a really good job with the lenses. So, Buffalo Bob, absolutely, dude. Put it in the whip next time you're about. But I like what you've done. You could be a little smoother in quite a lot of places. So thin your paint just a little bit more than you are. Be a little bit more patient with it. But you've done a stonking job, dude. For a tabletop mini, that's kind of where I'd expect it to be. You know? Not that whip, yeah. How do I blend the decals? So you don't. You can use matte varnish, and you can use micro sol and micro set, and it's the micro sol you'll want to use to dissolve it. And it actually works to weaken and start to erode the backing paper that decals are put on. I usually use about 3 to 4 coats of that every time I put a decal on. And it's not fun. It's a pain in the ass to do, but it's got to be done. Rocky! 21 months! Absolute legend. Thank you very much, brother. Let's get some love in the stream for The Rock. Let's get a big welcome to The Rock. But matte varnish will work to help just kill whatever's left. You can use just matte varnish and you just paint the shoulder pad. That could just work to completely kill it. But you've done well. You've done really well, dude. Have you watched the How to Paint Dark Angels video that I did? Well, someone made a Connery comment earlier on, so I had to. You know. Got a Sigmar question from Rocky. He's got a Retributor kit in the post. Do you want hammers, axes, or big swords? I don't know. Cool, right. I'm glad you've enjoyed it, mate. Watch the one on how to paint white as well, which was up 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago. Something like that. And adapt the how to paint white to how to paint green. And use that to create your highlight blends a little bit smoother. And then just do those quick edge highlights and so on, and you'll be on point with it. But really good, dude. We're going to do another one of those videos on YouTube. This week's Patreon video, which will be the weathering one for the robots. And next week's YouTube video will be another how to paint Marines one, and it'll be how to paint... Oh, I just realized I didn't turn that off. It'll be how to paint Blood Angels. So, Skeptic, send me an angel to kill. Oh my god. What is that? That's cool. Gulu Panda, cheers for the follow. Use a Marine tutorial for when I get around to the Marine part of my Indomitus box. Well, that'll be the second one we do. It's gonna be a good one. 3D print it. Nice. It's cool, man. Yeah, I like what you've done. Lots of little bits of dirt and grime around those handcuffs. I'd probably go a little bit more on the... He's got little cuts on his bicep and stuff. Like, I'd maybe make a bit more of a feature out of that. Lighten them, so old scars, or get some more dark colours on there. Just help separate them from skin a little bit. But otherwise, good work. Good work. This is Jamartin. Finally got the base coat done on these. Going to do the rest on Thursday. Nice, dude. Nice. Vanguard Vets. Are they magged? Claw and Shield. Chasing a meta. Oh, dear, oh dear, oh dear. Nice, bro. Nice. Get them done. Get them done. AOG Chain. We've got one of the coolest orcs, obviously. Look at that axe. Awesome, mate. So you've got your base coats down. Time to get some shades in there. Fair enough, mate. If I may, I can link the description to the models for others to sub and print. Sure, go for it. Put it in the chat. Yeah, get your shades in there, mate. Start working some contrast in on that. I don't mean like Games Workshop contrast. I mean like make the dark bits look dark and the light bits look light and so on. By adding in washes or pin washes or whatever you want to do. Looking good though, bro. Looking good. Snake does some Morty wings. Okay. Are they finished at that point, or have you still got more to do? Smithy, peace out, bro. See you soon. Looking cool, man. You're painting Morty fully together, which is madness, frankly. But, you know. First ever attempt at edge highlighting gold. Please judge. It is a trap. Not bad. Not bad is where we're going to go with. Still more still on the wings. Cool. Cool. I've just done a Patreon guide on how to paint gold. That was a couple of weeks back. It's part of the Void Dragon series. And that's a decent gold. There's a lot that I've done that's gold. I've done a load of Custodies. We've done it on like Ragnar here as well. I have a particular way of painting gold that I think works better than almost any other way. I have different ways of doing gold for different kinds of characters, like a good guy gold, so for your Space Marines, and a bad guy gold, like your heretics and so on, like this dude. And my good guy gold recipe is a double wash with purple and the flesh tone, and then highlight it up with the same gold and a mixture of that gold and silver. Most of what you've got here is really good, but there are highlights to it that are just that silver now, not gold anymore. And the way to help sort of eliminate that chance is to take your gold and then mix some silver into it until it just becomes to look a little bit more like silver than gold, and then mix some gold back into it. If you work up from your base gold from this, and metallics and normal colors, you can blend them both, you know. If you do it that way, your highlight color will always be gold. It won't be silver. And that's somewhat what you've got here in places. Let's do gold, because I want to do custodians, but I want to do them justice. Nice. Well, we've got a custodian commission of 7 custodian dreadnoughts to do this month. 7. Might want to tune in for some of that. You're painting a fuck ton of gold. If you look at this shot, you can see that silver a lot easier. Yeah. Also, some of those highlights, they're a bit thick in places. Thin down your paint a little. Okay. Then only put a small amount of paint on your brush at a time. Just go in there and hit those edges. That way you'll stop getting some of that thick area. If you look at the right hand side of the shield, the lower part of the cross, you've got a thick highlight around that corner, then thins out. Where it thins out, that's the kind of thickness they should all be. None of them should be thicker than that. It's a good start. You ask for criticism, feedback. You've got some work to do on it now. You can go from there. Thank you for submitting it, though. And last one, Crazy Anked. Got Gazzy. Still very much a whip, he says. It's looking cool, though, dude. Looking very cool. Love that bright green skin there in the middle. Such a standout point. Yeah, really good. Really, really good, bro. Nice one. So, good set of stuff in the whip tonight. We've been working on this for... It's going to be Lenny because of fucking Mackenzie constantly talking about Lenny. So, it's going to be Lenny. That's it. Lenny, and we need a name for this guy now. But that's what we've been working on. It's the base that we use as the diorama for this guy. It's going to be cool. Need a point of interest? Absolutely, bro. Got to have that focal point. But for now, it's time to finish. Let's go see who else is on Twitch. Who's still streaming? Jimmy the Brush is on. Haven't seen him for a little while. Let's see. Yeah, fuck yeah. I think we might go Red Jimmy. I think it should be Tank. Small... Oh, I see. Yeah, I get it. Small guy should be named Malcolm. Could be. Right. Let's go Red Jimmy. Let's see what he's doing. He's painting... I have no idea. It looks like a werewolf. And Princess is painting some bone-style Necrons. Okay. Oh, wait. She's got different Necrons. Many Crons. Kind of interesting to see this werewolf-looking dude he's got going on there. Egbert. Egbert's a good one. Boom. When we get there, I want to spam all those emotes. Get those meat faces going out in there. Cover the screen with them if they've got that mod turned on. Let's do it. Next stream is Thursday night, guys. So join me there where we're going to be actually getting some paint on this thing. It's going to be fun. Peace out, everyone. Have a good week.